Learn about laying on of hands, Day 8, the Third Eye Chakra.
Olá, eu sou Moisés Esagui e hoje a gente vai falar pouco.
Hello, my name is Moisés Esagui and today we're going to talk, inside our work of laying on of hands, about the Third Eye Chakra. I consider this as the evolutionary level chakra that allows us to explore an area the others can't.
Andar naquele espaço que nenhum outro consegue. Unido ao chakra cardíaco.
When united to the heart and crown chakras, we don't need to learn this because it happens naturally. We can walk all over the universe.
Nós podemos andar por todo o universo. E talvez você queira saber como
I imagine you want to know how we can do that, using the Third Eye Chakra.
Eu vou explicar para você o seguinte.
Let me explain. Our Third Eye Chakra has several high frequencies, and it works very well with the visual frequencies allowed by the crown chakra.
Visuais permitidas pelo chakra coronário. Então, mais ou menos lá pelo raio.
So, around the ray 400 of the crown chakra, you start having high-quality visual perceptions.
Da melhor qualidade. Isso é uma coisa que a gente pode.
We'll discuss this better during the course about chakras. This spiritual knowledge is important to demystify everything we have learned so far, in books, literature, and everywhere else.
Tudo aquilo que a gente já aprendeu e eu mesmo aprendi em livros, literatura e tudo mais. Mas o chakra frontal.
If you have a clairvoyance ability, your third eye chakra can take you anywhere you want.
O chakra frontal ele pode te levar a qualquer lugar que você quiser. Eu vou dar exemplo para você entender.
I will give you an example. Most of the time, clairvoyance requires having a focal point. For example, a glass of water, a crystal ball, any bright reference point, or a symbol where the person can direct their energies to.
Símbolo para que ela possa colocar as energias dela investidas naquele ponto. E por que a gente faz isso?
And why do we do that?
No momento em que você concentra
Because the moment you focus your energies with the third eye chakra on a certain point, you get a space of perception, vision, and use of all the frequencies of that chakra.
E de utilização de todas as frequências desse chakra. Você está concentrado de verdade nesse.
You truly concentrate on that chakra. Your attention and awareness move entirely to that chakra. It is as if you opened a door. The third eye chakra is like, while I am here talking to you, if I want to see someone in a distant location, if I focus my attention on this person, I will be able to know what they are doing exactly.
Concentrada nessa pessoa, eu vou poder saber exatamente o que ela está fazendo. A importância dele quando a gente faz.
The importance of the third eye chakra when we do the laying on of hands is that you can perceive what the other person is really feeling.
Mas a gente não deve se enganar.
But we must not deceive ourselves. I always say that, because our emotional processes may influence our first perception of them. To have a clear and perfect vision of the other person, we should be exempted from our own emotional processes, because they can distort the situation. They are very convenient. I'll give you an example. If someone is about to receive laying on of hands, and says they have a strong headache, the cause may not be this. Do you understand what I'm saying?
A causa pode não estar na cabeça, entendeu? É isso que eu estou dizendo. Mas você, na hora que você vai direcionar as
When you direct your energies, you might suffer some influence. Your vision might be incorrect because you would be focusing on the wrong point. So, we should allow ourselves to feel through the heart chakra, because it does not make mistakes. Feeling is the broadest way to know all that exists. The heart chakra is stable. It has its own rhythm and movement. When it stops, you lose the physical body. Isn't this right? So, we have to know this to be able to use it. It's not about using only the third eye chakra. You have to use all the chakras. You have to use the knowledge. Our life is a whole, not a piece. And the idea of learning spirituality is that we can exercise ourselves as a whole, so that we can truly grow, evolve, expand, and also better understand everything around us. Our ego and emotional chakras make us understand the others wrongly. We have to understand people broadly, without our own interference. So, if you have an open heart, that means you're not influenced by what the others say or are. You may see the exact point of that person's difficulty. And that, in a way, will help us direct our healing energies to the right place, and that person can benefit from it. It's important to have this perception, this clarity. May this clarity help us make an open path, a path of happiness, of detachment, of sharing. We don't know how to make the path of sharing, be sure of that. We are very convenient. Every time we have knowledge, we think it's power, because that's how we've learned. We don't have knowledge of something that lets us do a better work than other people, and we continue humble. No. We are not humble. We want to show others what we can do. Show others what we have. It's about having, about power, about subjecting people. They are silly things for those who really want to grow, to be better, and become someone who will leave this life in a happy, healthy condition, without having to suffer in the spiritual world because of inner difficulties. It is good to learn more and more. For that, we need to practice. You could even start with your family, without getting involved, because we tend to stay in that familiar emotional mess. For example, if you have an uncle, aunt, or mother who has health issues, ask them for permission to do the laying on of hands. Mom, please, sit down for some minutes while I practice. You can say energization, exteriorization of energies, laying on of hands, whatever sounds better. Choose whatever the person accepts. It doesn't make any difference. The titles we create for things, the sciences we invent, they don't have the slightest meaning, because what really matters is knowledge. And knowledge has no name. It is all there is. It's an infinite opening. So, if we start naming everything we learn because we are fragmented consciousnesses, we will have so many titles, so many sciences, and so many details that we end up not knowing how to deal with them. So, explain to her, Mom, sit down, and you'll feel better. I have said before that rhetoric and verbalization need to be good. Your mother sat down. Tell her what is going to happen. It's energy. You'll become more vitalized. You'll feel happier. The bad feelings you have may disappear. Then, you can try to feel exempted from anything else. Lay your hand and be relaxed. You can close your eyes. What images occur? Don't induce yourself to any specific image because your mother says she feels this or that. Relax, and see the images that appear. Sometimes they can be absurd images. An image that has nothing to do with what was said might appear. Look, when we deal with someone, we deal with the conscious part, the part the person experiences and can talk about it. But we are dealing with the unconscious part, which is the part that the person lives but can't even know that it's inside them, because they never wanted to know about it. It caused anguish, suffering, and everything, but it's there. That's what we are. We try to hide from ourselves through our lies, which are very sophisticated sometimes, what we don't want to get in touch with. Then, we separate ourselves from this physical world through these lies. So let us do things with awareness and goodwill, in a way that we can go further. So, it's like this. If you're doing the laying on of hands with your eyes closed, and an image appears, it can even be an image of war, an image of someone shouting at someone, a dog barking, a door, it doesn't matter, take into consideration anything that comes up.
Qualquer coisa que apareça, você considera.
You can even take personal notes to learn to develop how to interpret the situations related to those images to the point where they start to be very clear because you have overcome your own barriers, which are the barriers that we have created. Do you want to see a good example? You enroll yourself in a foreign language course. When we decide to learn a different language, we bring to that process what we are and what we have already learned in our native language and culture. Then, when you are studying that new language, you mix the new apprenticeship with what you already know. You have just created a barrier. It doesn't work like that. We have to accept things so that we can see clearly. That is important. Thinking this way, you can take the opportunity to make a little logbook. You are going to use your third eye chakra as a fundamental element. Now let me tell you something. Everything we do in the here and now and with feeling is pleasurable. It's very gratifying and enjoyable. If you are doing it and you are feeling tired, sad, or unwell, it's because you're not doing it with feeling. You are working at the level of your emotions. And our emotions are pulses. They wear out. You can't feel continuous pleasure when you work with the lower chakras. Then you start to get tired and think, oh, I'm already tired of doing this. Well, imagine that you do 5 hand impositions in one day and, for each of them you're emotionally investing yourself. It's rare to find people with enough knowledge to donate themselves on a sentimental level, using the upper part of the heart chakra or above. So it's good to know that when you evaluate your performance. But you shall not force it either. If you do an imposition of hands and feel tired, there's no problem. Just stop. Then at another time you do another session. This work, this practice is a learning path. We cannot want to learn all in one day. I'm going to do 20 hand impositions. Don't do that if it is too much for or you feel unwell. Don't punch yourself out. You're not doing a good thing with yourself. Let's do things in a way that makes us feel happy. It means that when you put your hands on someone's head, you transfer your best energies and feel comfortable. I'm repeating that word feel because that's what we have to train. It is the feeling. And also you'll get a much better result. So you'll be able to enjoy everything you see and do. That's quite important. Let me tell you something nice. On one occasion, I observed a person doing imposition of hands, and this person was very concentrated. His aura had the same images of things in the other person's aura. That's for you to see how we energetically attuned. Energy is a fabulous thing. It was nice for that person to later report what he had seen. There was also another time when I was doing the laying on of hands that was so remarkable for me that I recorded the experience. I started the practice and suddenly I saw that person going into an alley. And it was a rather dark alley all made of stones. It looked like a corridor. And there was an entrance on the right, like a little alleyway. He went into that alley and I followed, seeing everything. That's quite interesting. Then I began to see the anguish of that person, as he tried to climb that wall as if she was evading someone. And then he managed to climb up. But right after that, I saw 2 or 3 more people. In fact, first 2, then 1 more appeared, who approached and kept looking for him. And he was in a state of great distress. I took notes. You have to know that some sufferings that we have in the present may not have happened in this life. That is wonderful because our third eye chakra allows us to break the barrier of time, since we are the ones who create time. So the third eye chakra breaks all boundaries, and that's why it's so important, because we are capable of helping people in a way that is not limited to the knowledge we have learned in this life. How wonderful! So exercise and practice. When you're doing it, try to feel, try to see, without straining and also without being influenced by what you have been told or by the environment or anything you have witnessed. Let it flow. Write it all down. Your notes will contain many mistakes, because it happens to us, but over time you'll perfect them so that what you'll feel is what you see, and you'll have no doubts that what you see is the cause of what the person is feeling. Look what splendid knowledge! You can find the address of our website and our social networks in the description of this video. Feel free to follow us or contact us with your questions. See you in the next video of Learn Laying On of Hands.
Nós continuamos o nosso trabalho Aprenda em Posição de Mãos. Siga-nos.
Would you like to participate in a work of energy giving from afar that is benefiting thousands of people? Click on the link below for more information.